Jodi Townson's youngest son, Josiah, entered the world a healthy 8-pound baby in the fall of 2012. Although there were no complications during her pregnancy, Jodi wanted to ensure that Josiah and his older brother, Urzo, were reaching all of their developmental milestones, so she enlisted the help of parents as teachers. However, when Jodi, Josiah, and Urzo moved from one school district into another, they lost access to parents as teachers, and the developmental screening stopped when Josiah was 8 months old. Jodi, a single mom who works the overnight shift as a nurse at St. Mary's Hospital, used her medical background to monitor the progress of both of her young boys. When Josiah was a year and a half, he began exhibiting behavior that both puzzled and frightened Jodi.
I understand that all children are different and develop at different rates, but as a nurse and a mother, something just didn't seem quite right. Josiah would never respond to his name, he had difficulty trying to speak, and he would go off into other rooms and sit alone.
At Josiah's 18-month checkup, Jodi explained to her pediatrician her fears that Josiah was beginning to exhibit autistic-like behavior. The pediatrician informed Jodi that it was too early to tell and that she would have to wait until Josiah was at least 2 years old to be evaluated. Meanwhile, Josiah's mannerisms were becoming increasingly troubling.
If he was finished eating a bowl of goldfish and realized that there were none left, he immediately would start crying and yelling, throwing himself on the floor, flailing, kicking the walls. He would roll around on the ground and start kicking and screaming. He didn't know how to use words to communicate his wants and needs. He couldn't even point to specific things that he wanted.
Although Josiah and his brother Urzo have a close relationship, socializing with other children was also becoming an issue.
Josiah and Urzo are thick as thieves, but when Urzo started attending school, his classmates would come up to Josiah and want to give him a hug or even speak to him, but Josiah couldn't handle it. He didn't want anything to do with the other kids. Whenever they approached him, he would throw himself on the floor to the point where he was going to seriously hurt himself. He was never interested in playing with others or even socializing with them.
Jodi anxiously waited for Josiah's second birthday. She felt like she was wasting valuable time that could be devoted to helping her son, but she was following the chain of command. As the days turned into months, nothing in Josiah's behavior had changed for the positive. At Josiah's 2-year checkup, her pediatrician confirmed what she had already long suspected. He was showing signs of autism.
As a mother, the guilt sets in and you start to think, is this all my fault? Should I have done something differently when I was pregnant? Why is this happening to my kid? You search for answers, but there aren't any. It just is what it is.
To make matters even more frustrating, Jodi had to wait another 6 months before Josiah's clinical evaluation was scheduled. In the meantime, Jodi was advised by her pediatrician to reach out to Missouri First Steps, an early intervention agency. First Steps referred Jodi and Josiah to the St. Louis ARC. That's where they met behavioral specialist Andrea Sieper, and Jodi immediately started to see an improvement.
After a few months of behavioral therapy, Josiah could say over 50 words and associate animal sounds to the appropriate animal. He began saying, "My turn," during playtime and would sign or say, "More please," when he wanted something.
Josiah was making significant improvements in a short amount of time, so Andrea suggested that Jodi enroll Josiah in a new program the St. Louis ARC was offering called the Early Start Denver Model. The Early Start Denver Model, also known as ESDM, is a groundbreaking program that stresses that infants and toddlers learn best when they interact with one another. The ESDM strategies that are taught can be applied to daily life, such as when children are playing, eating, getting dressed, or when they're in a social setting. The overall goal is to increase development of children with an autism spectrum disorder in all areas of their lives. Jodi jumped at the chance for Josiah to participate in the program.
I am a single parent with 2 little kids and I work 12-hour nights. I told Andrea how badly I felt that I couldn't give enough one-on-one time with Josiah because I'm tired from work and I have another child to attend to. For him to go to this program 1 day a week, it kind of gives me the consistency that both of us need that I can't always provide. This was definitely an opportunity for Josiah to excel. I was very grateful and excited, and I cried when they accepted him into the program.
1 day a week for 3.5 hours, Josiah and his ESDM friends meet at the St. Louis ARC. Their time together is structured like that of a typical day at preschool. The children gather together for circle time, sing songs, read books, play with toys, and share a snack. What distinguishes the ESDM model from a preschool setting is that each child receives one-on-one support from a therapist throughout the day. Additionally, parental involvement is key to achieving success with the ESDM program. Parents whose children are enrolled also attend a 7-week training course that teaches them strategies on how to better understand and communicate with their child. Since starting the ESDM program, Josiah's communication and social skills have skyrocketed.
I'm just so proud of him. He's made friends with the other children. and his social interactions with them are heartwarming. He now communicates his needs to me and the staff by pointing. He makes choices when given options, and he is using his words. This is something that he never did 6 months ago. He's also beginning to combine words together, like, come on, and we did it, or here you go, whenever he needs help. Daily routines that used to be challenging, like diaper changes, baths, and brushing teeth, have become easier, and he does not throw himself on the ground when he comes in contact with other children. He actually goes up to them first.
Life is a lengthy journey, and progress is sometimes made in increments, but Jodi knows that Josiah is far better off now than where he started.
The ESDM program has given me a whole lot of hope. Without the help of the therapist, I would still be struggling to understand my own child and dealing with frustrations of not being able to communicate with him or wondering if he even understands me. The therapists help a child feel like someone actually does understand them, and they help a mother know her child.
Jodi can now envision a life for Josiah that she never thought was possible before.
I want to see Josiah go to school, graduate high school, go to college, have a family, and contribute to society. I want him to have what every parent wants for their child, to have a great life.